Now, when you're done restoring the image, if you say OK, I believe it should just go ahead and reboot right now, or maybe after hit close. The details are shown here, and actually, let me try to move this over and maybe show you what's going on here. It shows you your partitions, and it when it first came up, this was the image file I had already archived, and it lets you go ahead and if you click this, that's how you restore it, and it then lets you pick the partition you want to restore it into. Obviously, we want to restore the C drive, and it makes you say, yeah, I'm sure, I'm positive, and all that stuff. Now, when I close out of this, I believe it should reboot by itself because, maybe I gotta X out of this, I guess. Because that's what it does. I mean, this program is only meant to be run. It's like a boot sector program. So now it's going to reboot the system, okay? You're going to see when this system boots up the menu that MACRINUM installed for the boot up of your operating system itself. It'll let you choose to either go with the MACRINUM or go ahead with whatever boot you were going to do originally, which is probably the C drive. So there it is, and obviously you would pick Windows 10 now. And I think there's a way to get rid of this if you don't want to see it after a while. It's really easy to do that, okay, with the other where it says change defaults. So now we're booting up Windows 10. I have already established a user account called Spike C23, and I've even cleaned the layout greatly. I would like you to use accounts that have passwords on this, please. When you set up this account, please make sure it has a password. It's going to come up with what I call this clean desktop that we've already done. So I've already done a lot of work for you. So at this point, the only thing I have to do is change the box name and then download the software. So let me go ahead and change the box name real quick. In order to do that, you right-click, just click a file explorer here, okay? Go ahead and where it says this PC, right-click that. And a little bit bigger. Okay, so right-click this PC, and then click Properties. It's going to bring up this Windows 10 thing here. Go ahead and say Change Settings here. There's another thing that says to rename the computer, click Change here. Click that. Okay, the box name is going to be Spike C23. Say OK. It's going to warn you that it's going to have to require a reboot. Oh, sorry. The wrong thing here. It says just a warning that says you're going to have to reboot your computer. Say OK. We don't have anything running here, so just say it's got another warning here. So the change will take effect. Go ahead and say close, and it's going to go ahead and reboot the computer. Click that. All right. Let's go ahead and log in. We're going to go up on the internet, and we're going to go to the Matt Parker video, and that's where we're going to get the download from. So go ahead and hit your Firefox thing here. Let's go up to YouTube. And I want you to type Matt Parker, Matt Parker 3 dice solution. It comes up with Here's the two videos. This was his original problem that he presented to everybody. It's got 723,000 views on it already. This is the solution that he came up with about 6 weeks later. When I saw this, I replied to him. I kind of went crazy on that man, and so he did get my replies, and he's got some of that stuff in his solution video. So go ahead and click the solution video, which has got 318,000 views on it right now. I knew that was coming up. Hang on. Okay, it's the solution video is running now. I'd like you to go ahead and skip up to 13:20 right into there, and then play it. And he talks about me for 3.5 minutes straight here, and I'm not gonna ask you guys to watch it right now, but please watch this for two reasons. Number one, I'm really proud of what he says here. He says great things about me right here. But the other thing is, he actually shows you what my system does. He actually shows you the architecture of my system right here. All right, I'm not gonna bother you guys to watch this for you right now. Okay. That was really what my patent did there. That was a quick one. But really, what I wanted you to do here was go ahead and go ahead where it says show more. The video description of this video right here, and in it he's got. See where it says Marty Wollner video 303. I sent him 3 videos over an hour. That was the third of the set. Here's a link to what I call my long description. I really want to show you this right here. And this is a link to my patent up at Google. I want you to go ahead and click this long description right here. Click that, please. And this actually is my map showing the bilateral symmetry of the way I've got this working. You see how the 2 dice rolls are mapped directly across from the 3 dice rolls. So like the yellow here is for the 2 point and 2 dice, and here's all the 3 dice rolls that can generate that. The yellow, it's right across, and then the greens, the 3 point right across, and these 3 greens here, and the blue, this blue is right across, and these 3. You see how it's like directly across, and also bilaterally symmetrical. That's why he listened to what I had to say. That's why I made him up there. But I want you to click this right here. This is the file. This is how to get to the file right here. Click this, and I want you to go ahead and say save file. Say OK. It's going to put it in your downloads directory, and then we're going to be all done after that. Okay. So it should be there. It's already there. It's there right now. Okay. And see that little thing came up. Now we can kill this now. I'm sorry. Yeah. Kill it. Close the tabs. Bring up your file explorer again. I want you to go ahead and the file is sitting in the downloads folder. It's right here. I want you to drag it from here into the documents folder, please. This thing has to be run from your documents folder. And it also assumes that, again, I've established an account here as username SpikeC23. So it's actually in C:\users\SpikeC23 \documents is actually where this actually is here, okay? So it has to be run from here. All right, so the first thing you want to do is extract it. Right click it, say extract all. Take the default. In order to take the default, just hit this extract thing here. It's pretty slow. I don't understand that really. I think MACRINUM did something in my system or something, maybe. All right. When you extract, it actually takes you into the folder, so we don't really want to be there. We really want to be up here. We're back to the documents folder. Let's just kill one of these copies here. Now, what I want you to do first, that was the first thing, was to extract it. The second thing I wanted you to do, I want you to get this zip file out of the way, because this procedure is going to involve about 5 reboots. And if we come back in this folder, and when we come back in this folder, you may want to, if you have to do it manually or something like that, you may want to click this. And I don't want you to confuse these things. So if you had to get back, you'd want to get back in here. So get this out of the way, drag it back to the downloads folder, get out of the way, all right? That was the second thing to do. First thing was extract. Second thing, get the zip file out of the folder. Now go ahead and double click this here. And there's a lot of things you can do. You could read the documentation, but just listen to me. I want you to click this to get the install running here. You see where it says install all run auto, install underscore all underscore run as admin underscore auto. Right click that and run as admin. This is how you start the install procedure right here. Once you kick it off, you shouldn't have to do anything after that, really. You'll have to, it'll go through 5 reboots. You'll have to log in because because we've got a password on our account, but you won't have to do too much other than those 8 exceptions that I told you about. All right. Kick run anyway. Yes. All right. Now, this is our first prompt. Whenever you see a prompt like this, I want you to go ahead and get your keyboard out. Get your keyboard out and press this key right here, the enter key over here, this one in the corner here. Just put your keyboard off somewhere where you can just get to that key and use that a lot. It's better to use that than trying to mess around with the mouse in most cases, okay? So enter. It's doing a whole bunch of stuff. This one's hard to see here. This one, it's telling you that it registered a DLL. Okay, so just say okay. Here you will go ahead and click OK here. Let it keep going. It's telling you it's going to be extracting a kit. There's going to be a green status message from the Windows PowerShell is going to be coming up in a second here. You see there's the green status message. It's extracting a kit. Now here's another prompt to continue right here. So go ahead and use your keyboard, enter. All right, it's bringing up the BEA MessageQ software. This is the deck MessageQ software. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing this. It's not. This stuff is safe. Okay. All right. So this is deck MessageQ. BEA MessageQ is called. I'm gonna stop that. All right. So the first thing you want to go is you can use the keyboard next. All right. Now here's our first exception. I gave you a list of exceptions. It was in the video, the 4-minute video. If you go to the video description, they're actually written in the video description, written down there for you. So the first exception is go ahead and install without tuxedo. Click this. You can hit the enter key now. Here's the second exception right here. Okay. Second exception was that we had to change the destination folder for the BEA MessageQ software. You can't see it here, but what you have to do, you have to click this one that says Browse. Going to bring this up here. It defaults to C:\program space files space left parentheses x86 right parentheses. You want to get rid of that. So put it here and get rid of these 6 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're gone. And go ahead and now say OK. And it's just informing me that it's telling me, because it's a brand new install, that it's going to have to create this folder. Say yes. Now go ahead and click next. All right, that was the second step, second exception. Now I want you to go ahead and move your mouse off to the side and use the enter key again, because it's way better, safer that way. Enter. Enter. This came from BA the way it is here. Now here's the third exception. The third thing we had to do. It's asking me, do we want to install the license? Go ahead and click yes. I think we can probably hit the enter key, but we want to explicitly do this, so go ahead and click yes here. Now remember where the license was at. We had to hit browse. It's asking for the folder that the license is stored at. Hit browse. go to the root of the C drive, double click that. There's going to be a folder called DMQ, double click. DMQ_50, double click. License, double click. That's where the license is at, okay? Now say OK. And now it knows where the license is to be installed from. Say OK. There's a informational message that says that the license has been installed successfully. OK. You could use the keyboard for all these clicks here. Click finish, and now it's going to go ahead and this just a thing that just shows you what the program files BEA MessageQ folder looks like after it was installed. We don't need that anymore. Now go ahead and click finish here, or hit the enter key. And now this is our last prompt for the first phase of this install. So we get the enter key here, and now it's going to start a reboot. As soon as we hit this, it's going to go ahead and do a reboot for us. And it gives you this warning about that. Go ahead and clear this if you want to. You get this out of the way if you want to get this out of the way. If you want to, it'll kill it anyway, but kill that. And so now it's going to go and reboot by itself. You don't have to touch anything. It just reboots all by itself now, okay? Alright, we're going to wait a minute. Well, I'll go ahead and show you. It waits. It's going to wait like about 20 seconds and it reboots by itself. Okay, I'll come back when we're done with the reboot. After you log in, it comes up about 20 seconds after you log in. You don't have to touch anything at all. It'll just come up by itself. There it is. See, it came up. And even though it says that it completed part 1, it says there's a thing that says environmental not defined. That's not an error. That's okay. Just let it go. Alright, there's a permission thing. I have my sound turned off. It would have went da-doom like that, but I have the sound turned off so you can't hear it. Say yes. Alright, it's doing a bunch of more stuff. Here's another prompt for an enter key. So you use your keyboard, hit enter here. Okay, it's starting to install what's called the eGamers host, which is actually the alarm notification system from Ford Motor Company, which I wrote over the 14 years that I worked there. This is an install shield for it. So go ahead and click next. Alright, here's the fourth exception, I think, or maybe, yeah, fourth exception, was we have to enter the password, which is cubes, all uppercase, CUBES. Notice when I click that last digit on the keyboard, this continue thing came up here. So go ahead and click that now. Or you can probably just use I want you to use the enter key better. Oh, use the enter key. Enter. I wrote this install shield. One of the first install shields I ever wrote. It took me almost a year to write this when I worked at Ford Motor Company. Okay, enter key, extracting the kernel files, doing all kinds of crazy shit. Here's another exception here. We have to change the box name to, remember what it is? It's Spike C23, right? I'll just change this to 23, right? Enter key. Mouse off to the side. Enter key. Enter key. Enter key. This is the bus ID. The bus defaults to bus 4000. just FYI, the bus is like a network. You can have separate networks. For example, with Ford Motor Company, we used to have for the whole world, we used to have 3 buses. We had a production bus, and a testing bus, and a development bus. In a casino, you might have a security bus, and a monitoring bus, and a backup bus, and a live bus, and etc., etc. They're like completely separate networks. The hierarchy goes is this bus, and then under bus there's groups. Under groups there's queues. Groups, the way we're using groups, the way we're using them, we're equating groups to nodes, so to boxes. I'm going to show you examples of how this all works later, but just to tell you just to explain what that was, if you did want to set up a network box that was on an alternative bus, you would change it here. Okay, now go ahead and hit the enter key now. Now this is what the last thing we're going to have to change right here. Is we have to change the DMQ group ID to, remember what it's going to be, it's going to be 523, right? And pretty much from now on out, it's all enter key. So get your mouse out of the way, and we're going to use the enter key from now on out. So enter, 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 enter. You'll notice here that it is remembering, knows what we're doing now. Enter, enter. Don't click that one, please. If you click that one, you'd have to click about 200 clicks, because it's showing you all the registry entries we're making. We're making over 200 registry entries when we're doing this thing. Enter, enter, enter. It's going to launch a little utility. This is going to set a whole bunch of environment variables. It says reboot, but just ignore that. It's going to go away in a second. It went away, okay? There's another informational message about another registry key it made. Enter key. Yeah, it's all done with the alarm notification set up. The ANS, the mighty ANS, which we installed in like 60 plants, and it was targeted for over 200 plants before I left Ford. Enter. It's going to do some more stuff here still. And it's going to finish up in a second. Okay, that's that. I think we can go and press it. You can press any key if you want here, but it's all done. It's gonna go ahead and reboot by itself right now. You don't have to touch anything. It'll just reboot by itself. I'll go ahead and wait for it to start to reboot by itself, and then I'll wait and I'll pause the video after the reboot is completed. After we log in again, okay? So give it a couple seconds. Okay, it's going to restart. I'm going to pause the video now. Here. It'll start by itself again. Okay, it knows what phase it's in. And knows that it's completed phase 2, it's in phase 3. Alright, now it's got another one of these approval things. Go ahead and click that. It's going to do a whole bunch of more stuff here. Just let it run. Just let it go. Let it do its thing. You can look and see what it's doing. It's doing all kinds of patches and registry entries and copies. It has to take into account the group names and the usernames, all the things that we've established here. It's going to be making firewall exceptions for us. It's going to be setting up testing menus for us. Okay, here's another one. I'm going to say close. I guess you can hit this if you want. Okay. It'll just, you don't have to shut it down. It'll shut it down by itself. And again, I'll restart the video when we've done rebooting again. Okay. I'll wait for it to start the shutdown. Alright, there it goes. It should come up by itself completely. By the way, you know you have to take a bong hit between every reboot. You know that, right? There's a law. It's an unwritten law, but there's a law. Okay? Stupid thing. It's telling us it's completed part 3, so it's in part 4. This is the last part. There'll be one more reboot after this, and that's going to be it. Here's one of these approval things, which is hard to see for some reason. Go ahead and say yes. Oops. Yeah. Say yes. It'll start all by itself. Just let it go. Don't touch anything. And okay. It's all done. There's some informational stuff here. But this informational stuff that's here, you're going to see it again every time we run the system. It'll redisplay the same informational messaging because what it's showing you here is just to let you know what it's saying here, what it's trying to show you here, is that the last thing it did was it made a whole bunch of firewall exceptions, and it should have worked okay. But in case you got some weird firewall software that this didn't work with, it's just telling you that these are the ones that you have to set up the exceptions for, and they already set up if the thing went normally. And the other thing it tells you is that there's going to be a new folder under your documents folder called testing. And so just go to that folder and everything's going to be self-explaining from there on out. Okay, we're completely done with this install. We can go ahead and hit the enter key. And go ahead and let it log us out. We're all done now. Now when we come back up, we're going to start the testing. We're going to go into the testing folder, and we're going to start from there to start the system up. Thank you very much.